Pop like, yo, it's my YouTube, alright? Great, what up, though? Alright, we ain't waiting for no more people to come in. Tuesday night live, let's get it. Let's get in quick and get out. Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. She like, ooh la la. They go, ooh la la. On a Tuesday, best day, blessed day. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like, where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. Yes, we are live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling back up in here one more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on my side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes, when the people don't be acting flaky, Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you run off the page and Usher to the left, Diddy to the right, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time and you've been rocking with the channel, then good looking. But you know how I do. Start my show. Tony, there was no other way. We ain't in the game now. We is in the end game, people. We ain't in the game because it's Tuesday. Transformation Tuesday. That means what you're working on, how you working it, and is it working for you? Hear the silence? Yeah, like people in the real life, we want to know, is it working for you? Because if you go online in the fake world, everybody got it figured out. Everybody's relationship is great. Everybody in the best of health. Everybody got all the money in the world. Everybody smashing all the snow bunnies and all the Instagrams, and everybody's life is great. But in the real life, if you figured it out, then we want to know. So that's what Transformation Tuesday, that's the word for that. And speaking of which, you should always be trying to get better for yourself, for your loved ones, for your family, for the people that look up to you. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that briefly. But first, we're going to kick off the show, unfortunately, with some sad news coming out. It may not be sad to a lot of people, but it's sad nonetheless. And Reverend Jesse Jackson, right? He passed, finally transitioned, lost his life to whatever illnesses he was battling. So rest in peace to Jesse Jackson. Condolences to his family, and there's a lot of deaths that be in the news that is trending or people are talking about it. We give a little spill and whatnot. In his case, 2 reasons why I want to bring it up. One, when I brought my little Flavor Flav shit, which I don't have the little pop head shit up here, but at my job where we work with a lot of young people, and we'll speak about young people in a minute. A lot of them didn't know who that was, right? And I get it, it's Flavor Flav, it's an old rapper, although a lot of them are consumed with reality TV and, whether it's Bad Girls and Love and Hip Hop or whatever the various shows, which I don't pay attention to now, like when I first was, or yesteryear. So a lot of them didn't know that he was one of the pioneers, not only in rap with Public Enemy, but in the reality TV space, right? So why am I mentioning that with Reverend, Jesse Jackson? Because I'm like, well, if they don't know who Flavor is, right, then you're probably definitely not going to know who Jesse Jackson was. 84, not relatively young, you know, we say that a lot on the channel. Oh, he died young, and didn't see this one coming, or woo woo ah ah. But 84 is a long time to be on this planet, right? And he has contributed to, the plight of black folks, black and brown, FBAs, etc. Obviously, he's a prodigy of, Dr. King, rest in peace, right? Ran for presidency, lost. Trump gave him a couple dollars for his presidency, right? The racist president, right? Try to let him get to be one of the first black presidents. And he also known for, forget what he said, but I know it was like a slight at Barack when Barack won, right? And I hate to bring this up on his after he's passed, but there was something, I forget what he said, but he said it under his tongue. But the cameras and everybody's watching, like, you know what I mean? Everybody always watching. You think you're getting away with some shit, especially if you're famous or you in a place where it's a lot of cameras, you gotta watch your movements. But it was so, I don't know, I wanted to say, you want to say some bitch ass nigga or maybe like suck ass nigga. He said some funny shit. If you watching and you remember what Jesse Jackson said after Barack won, drop it in the comments. But there's that, right? Obviously, an activist. Then he became, the reverend, Baptist reverend for the church or whatever. And he done a lot of great. If you don't know about him, you should look into him, especially if you but you're black and we just starting the show off. But this is the last reason why I want to bring him up. Because we talk politics on the channel sometimes. Notice I didn't mention that in the beginning when I'm like hip-hop, entertainment, interviews, and all that. Notice I didn't mention politics because I'm not a politician. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I could care less as far as which side you on and your political views. I'm basically right is right, wrong is wrong, and it is what it is. But I never want to shit on somebody or even though we talk politics and I give my opinions on what I think they doing right by the people, whether they scumbags or they liars or they put them all in the same box or under the same umbrella. Even though I have my opinions like everybody else. Sometimes you might agree, sometimes you might not agree. In his case and a lot of other people, right? That's fighting the good fight, working the good work, doing shit that nobody seems to not want to do. Never want to talk down on them or belittle their legacy or what they have done, because if you haven't done what they done or you're not trying to outdo what they did, yeah, you can have an opinion on it, but a lot of times it's just better to shut up and not even say anything, because you can have your opinions on him and anybody else, right? The Reverend Al Sharpton or whoever, Barack, right, made the presidency, like he ain't do nothing for black people. Woo, 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 ah, ah, ah. You hear B. Simone talking about King, he wasn't a good father, he cheated on his wife, and he wasn't a good person, you know what I mean? Everybody gonna have their opinion, especially on the internet, right? But in the real life, me personally, I won't get on an attack or shoot down somebody legacy and what they did, especially for black and brown people, when I myself have not lived up to or even tried to do some of the things that they've done and they accomplished. That's why Hov no, not Hov, that's Rick Ross, like, you niggas losing, look like you could use us. So don't try to talk shit on us and y'all niggas is losing. We over here winning, pop champagne, like we winning. Like we won the championship and y'all niggas is losing. You on the losing side, but yet you're fixing your face to have an opinion on what I'm doing. And I'm over here winning. No matter how that winning may look to the outside, I'm winning over here, right? So you're losing in my eyes. You take the L like loser. You take the L home, but yet you got all these opinions and what a nigga should be doing, what a sis should be doing, and they should move like this, they should do this. But you're losing. So how the fuck you got an opinion on what I'm doing? That's basically what Rick Ross was saying. You niggas is losing. Look like you could use us. So in that same vein, never want to get up here. 11, go crush it. What's the word? You never want to get on a platform, especially, talking out to people, whether they pass, like Reverend Jesse Jackson, or whether they alive and be like, yeah, well they woo 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 ah ah ah, fuck their legacy, or they was a sucker and woo woo, and it's like, well, what did you do? What did you do to try to uplift and help the black and brown people? What you doing in your community right now? Because a lot of people in the comments, like under certain posts, you see people, what's the word, Sean? You see a lot of people be in the comments like, well, what you doing in your community? See you talking under this post, but what you doing on this Transformation Tuesday? I mean, what you working on, how you working, and is it working for you? But what are you doing in the community to fix the shit you don't like, or you got comments and opinions on what are you doing about it? So today we salute, Jesse Jackson, you know what I mean? We give our condolences to his family. Obviously, his two of his sons, I believe, end up being U.S. senators, etc. The family is into the politics, etc. So salute to him for all that he done. Whether you agree with how he went about doing it, and no matter what your views are, especially if you are not one to have done what he did or even trying to top what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's my stance on that. So rest in peace to him. Let's talk about this shit, right? Speaking of what people are doing in the community, right? What you working on, how you working it on this Transformation Tuesday. So I just was at one of these political events, little conferences and shit, and there was a lot of people in there, right? And again, I only preference, the beginning, saying I'm not a politician, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm what would probably be deemed as an independent, you know what I mean? Because I can go either way depending on the issue, right? Nonetheless, I'm right is right and wrong is wrong. You'll keep hearing that. Anyway, we in the room with the big wigs and shit, and basically, it's wrapped around cure violence, anti-violence type of work, which I do every day. Proud of it, right? I'm out in the community. When you ask me in my comments what you doing in the community, I'm working with some of y'all badass kids and trying to keep them from killing each other, right? I'm being funny, but I'm not. That's what I'm doing, right? Along with a lot of other brothers and sisters that, do this type of work. And it's all type of different programs and, spaces for people to do what I do in their neighborhoods. If you know, you know. If you don't, then get informed, right? Anyway, while we up in Albany, with the big wigs or some of them, whole panel of people that's smarter than me, people who pay grade is higher than mine, right? Although I'm from the environment and I got an opinion or two on, the happenings in the community, how we can find solutions for stuff that's in the community, resources that need to be placed inside the community for the people to use to get some of the foolery to stop. But before we get to that, right, let's get to some of these clips that y'all probably seen now, because y'all like, what are we talking about when I say we're talking about the kids? Talking about the kids in general, but specifically we're talking about the kids up at motherfucking Bay Plaza Mall, which I used to go to all the time, the movies and all that shit up there. You know what I mean? I used to live close in that area. A whole bunch of kids came out of nowhere acting crazy, shit crazy, right? And there's hella videos of them going ape shit all over. That's a lot of slides. Let me open it back up. Damn. There's hella slides. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Come on, sit down.
Nah. It's wild and throwing cheers, bugging out. Trying to break into stores, holding stock.
Video?
They're throwing shit like crazy.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
You saying no run?
She got hurt. She got hurt. They're just doing the most.
I'm looking for niggas. Yo, he bugging, bro.
He bugging, bro. Then the police show up. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Policeman, give you no break. They ain't gonna give
You don't even know what I
motherfucking
really got to
break.
go through behind the scenes. I'm
They're not
having
gonna give
sleepless
you no
nights behind this
break.
shit, behind trying to.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions of...
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, they out here doing the most. Standing on top of furniture, wilding out. Big crowds, big malls. Now that we painted the picture, what kids are we talking about? We're talking about kids in general in our neighborhoods, right? It's the good coffee right there. But specifically, we're talking about those kids in the Bronx and high-risk kids abroad, right? Because at this conference that I was at, that I was privy to be at, even though I didn't get to say no words, they wasn't there, to hear Lee speak. I wasn't on the bingo card that day, right? Then I had some opinions, but it wasn't for me to speak. Anyway, as some senators, some councilmen, and I won't say all the names and all that, that's not really important, as they went around the room, and just regular folks too, because they have the conference, I think, every year, and you could get on the bus, you could drive, you could pop right up there in Albany, right? Just like they be having the community board meetings right here, Harlem, Bronx, Brooklyn, wherever borough you in, every first Wednesday of the month. So if you want to know the happenings in your neighborhood, you want to know what the police doing, you want to know any little businesses and organizations that's doing stuff, you're looking for jobs, you're looking for work, this is where you need to be at. So you can be informed and you can know what's going on in your community, right? A lot of us will jump over that. We'll skip that because we got other shit to do. But for those that do want to know the happenings in their neighborhood, those are the places you need to be. Anyway, anybody could go to these, conference, the one they had in Albany, different rooms, some on mental health, some on, gun violence, etc. Some of them is merged together, etc. But anyway, as the room went around and the microphone was passed around, and I passed the microphone to you know what I mean? K to the L-O, you know what I mean? A special guest on my show was the K to the O to the O-L-O. Like, I passed the mic to you. And as the mic was going around and around and around, and the time started spiraling out, like, damn, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, like, we here, like, we gonna be here. Nobody said anything geared towards the parents. Oh, what are we getting at? The parents. The parents, meet the parents, right? Meet the parents, as that's a whole reference, by the way. Meet the parents, where the father didn't know his son, left when he was, young, etc. Son ended up being in the streets early. Father still in the streets doing what he do. End up running to him and then killing his own son because he didn't even know who his own son was. It's a deep song, right? And we'll get to substance in a minute, right? Nobody had anything to say about the parents, the resources that they need, etc. And that's what I would have said. I said, like, everything that some of the folks in the room was saying was excellent, right? It is needed, and it's not a one solution to the whole problem. You're going to need multiple solutions because it's a big fucking problem. And the reason why I'm bringing up the parents is because discipline, life lessons, how your child, at least initially, learns how to be a productive member of society. But that comes from the house. That starts in the house and it ends in the house. And I'll give you a quick example, in case you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Parents who put emphasis on education in the home are normally not the parents who go to the school mad, acting the fool, acting ratchet, acting crazy, right? Shit crazy, shit crazy. Come there showing your ass, literally, with your pajamas on, with your rollers in your hair, flip-flops, looking crazy, right? You show up to school, you're mad at the principal, you're mad at the teachers, you're mad at the whole educational, system, right? Because your child is not learning. Because you send your child strictly to go to school to learn, which that is very true. But that's all. That's where it stops at. Whatever they get at school, that's what they get. What they don't get, they don't get. You don't reinforce. You don't buckle down and make sure that they doing their homework. Make sure that you going over problems with them, making sure that they getting their edumacation, right? And I said it like that purposely. You're not getting your edumacation, right? It's just school and whatever, because you're busy with work. You're busy with your girls. You're busy doing whatever it is that you're doing. You're not putting emphasis on education. And the parents that do, they never at the school worrying about why their kids' grades are failing, why they're not reading on the level that they should be, why the math is not done on the level that it should be. But they got all of the Jordans. They got all the LeBron, like LeBron James. They got all the LeBron James. They got the Stephs. They got the Kevin Durant's, the Ant-Mans. They got all these shoes, right? They got the nice iPhones and Apple Watches. They got the nice fucking headphones. They got all the accessories. The little girls, they got the nice bags. Their eyelashes is on fleek. But their education is lacking. And if you was to poll the parents and say, yo, take this test at random, like just take a basic academic test. And I'm not saying I'm some smarty pants and I'm the smartest brother in the room, because y'all know I like to play on the channel and say I got my GED, I know how to count ABC, you know what I mean? Like, and that's it, right? So I'm academically, I don't got all these type of degrees and shit and all this doctorate, you know, certificates and all that. But I'm far from dumb, right? Match wits with the best of them. And if you say, yo, take this test real quick, a lot of them will fail. So if the parents is failing, then the kids are failing. So now let's go back to the fuckery and the foolery. If you ain't teaching your kids right from wrong, or you letting them just do what the fuck they want in the house, they could bring girls there and have sex at a young age. They could smoke weed in the house. They got all their boys over there that's gang and niggas carrying guns and switches and all that. You see them, you know, you hear conversations of them smoking a dad and they running down on the dad and they ops and all that, and you just in the clouds. You got no fucking clue of what's going on in your household. Then you, Kareem Akbar, you are the true leader of the C and B. But in this case, you are the true leader of why your kid is failing and why society as a whole is failing. You have to first blame it on the parents. Now, yes, when we become adults, and before I even continue, I'm not going to act like I ain't do no dumb shit as a child, as a teenager. You know what I mean? Steal shit, G.I. Joe, steal motherfucking rap tapes off 125th Harlem Week, and, you know, steal coats and all type of shit. Run out the store with sneakers on. Yeah, I was a bad little nigga. Hard-headed nigga who didn't listen, so you got what you came for. Surgery with the chainsaw. Also did, you know, 3 bids. Got locked up. Time served. Go do your time. And you know what's coming next. You hate the law, nigga, break it. I don't care, but when you get caught, remember that I don't care. When you go to jail, at a young age or old age, the first one for me is 16. Then the second one, you know what I mean? Then the third one. So you can be locked up. You see some of these kids getting arrested. Some of them have smiles. You probably couldn't see the way I was holding the video, but some of them was laughing. They think this shit is funny. Some of them definitely probably gang. And again, we deal with the high risk and cure violence, you know, under the cure violence umbrella. This is what we do. We working with kids that's carrying switches, that's gang, that don't got the best of grades. And we trying to build them up. Baby, I build you up. This is what we doing. We trying to build them up. Farris Juju, what's the word? This is what we do. We don't just send them off to the darkness and say, fuck it. And I mean, we was on a little lunch break and shit after we finished occupying one of the corners and shit, right? And we went inside McDonald's. And y'all know McDonald's is a hot spot. A lot of people get, you know, assaulted, stabbed, shot, whatever. That's where the kids congregate at, right? And big bouncer. He's security, but basically a big bouncer. And just sitting, you know, right when you come in, got the little food and shit. Kids is in there cursing, SMD this, suck a dick that, on the dead this, on the dead like girls is in there, fast asses, nigga, you know, young dudes is in there. And this is the breeding ground, right? And all kids ain't bad. But, you know, when you subject it to your environment and your area code, you can't switch it. And your area code is a 718, you know what I mean? Or the 212, and this is the neighborhood you live in the 5-10 block radius. These are the people that you're going to be around. Unless your parents are stopping you or you not doing it on your own. Anyway, bringing up the big bouncer because a couple of kids was in there acting crazy or whatever. We kind of de-escalated some stuff while we was there. That's our job, to mediate, de-escalate. We ain't Captain Save. We can't save everybody, even though you may try, right? Anyway, he like, yo, these kids is soulless. But just the way that he said it, though, big bouncer with the beard. I ain't gonna say he was Muslim. Everybody with a Muslim, you know what I mean, ain't Muslim. You know what I mean, you a Muslim now. No more dope games or some pop shit. But he did have the beard, you know what I mean? Talking about big bouncer, like 6'5", but sturdy, you know what I mean? And he just was sitting there like, and I guess his job is when they get out of hand, send them up out of there. But other than that, if they SMD in it, which I had told the kid, like, yo, it's kids in, it's an elderly lady in, like, what's all that? Plus, I end up knowing the kid. I'm like, yeah, now you know I know your pops. Or some DMX shit. He told me you was a little knucklehead ass nigga. You know what I mean? Like, you know I know your pops, but I know his mom's, right? Old boy, 14, 15, but look bigger. I'm like, what you mean on your dads and all? I'm like, you in the gang? Because I know you ain't in no gang. He like, nah, but I got dads and all. These kids don't even know what the fuck they talking about. Anyway, I had stopped him, and that's what prompted the conversation with the bouncer as we was leaving, or the security guard. But just the way that he said, these kids are soulless. Basically, they done. They lost. They out of here. And Whitney Houston said, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier, right? I'm being funny, but I'm not. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston, right? We don't say that with our kids. We deal with the type of kids that was in McDonald's, the high risk, the gangs, the people that, the kids that, reading and math level ain't on the levels that it's supposed to be. The ones that's carrying the switches that come to the program high. It's like, yo, I know your pops. And get your mother on the phone. Why are you late? School been let out. So although he may feel that they soulless, I said all that to say, we get paid to do it, to do the work that we do. Although we have a passion and a strong sense of having to give back, especially a lot of people like myself that been in and out of the penitentiary, played with the hammers, been to jail, shot people, been shot at my out to this gangster, so I stay in some beef on some 50 Cent shit. We was like that, so it's like now that we've been through the storm, let's try to save some of these young kids. Are they gonna give us a couple dollars for it? I can rock with that. I can live with that. So we don't say we turn the kids away. But his attitude was just like, nah, these kids are soulless. As long as they don't do too much of it, he like, just hear some of the conversation. And I hear it because I work with the kids. So I just was like, as the parents, and then I'm going to get off this topic and jump into another couple of quick topics. And we only been on here for 27 minutes. We going to probably last like an hour when we out of here. Parents, if you don't have that oomph, because nobody's going to pay you to raise your kids. You had the kids, you opened your legs, you let somebody come in you, or fellas, you came in something that you probably should. She ended up having an old keeper nigga baby, and you got a son running around. If you don't be the front lines for education, for writers, showing them what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong, they're going to be in the grave or they're going to be in the cage. That's the bottom line. And the pipeline continues. That pipeline from the school system to the prison system is a real thing. I know about firsthand. A lot of my peers and people my age know about it firsthand. You have to be like, fuck that. Even if you don't have the resources. Even if you got to grab her, she having sex young, she like the, little thug niggas. Even if your son is out there, you have to put belt to ass, foot to ass. And if you don't, then they're going to be doing that shit that we just seen in the debate plaza. Now again, I was young, I did shit, so I'm not saying all the kids going to walk the straight and narrow their whole fucking life. Sometimes you got to, get your hands dirty a little bit to realize, oh, this ain't really what it is. You know what I mean? When you get that record earlier, when I say earlier, at a young age, a lot of them got arrested, and now you got vandalism and, endangering kids, all of the Trump charges they going to put up on you, and then you on Rikers or you in juvie somewhere, Spofford, right? And you're like, damn, all because I was following somebody. And again, this is another reason why we need you to be the front line for your own kids and for other kids. Because this is the community that your kids are going to go out into the world in. You could be the best of parents. And you could be the best around. And nothing's ever going to keep you down. Like, you the best parent around. You could be the best father around. The best mother around. But once your door open, apartment 4A, 3C, 1B, you know what I mean, 12F, and you live in the projects, and they go out your front door, get on that elevator, go downstairs, and go out into the world, who are they mingling with? Other kids. All the kids may not be good kids like your kids, because your kids would never, right? Your kids would never. But they hanging with kids that would. So they get caught up in the wave. Max B, you get caught up in the wave, and now your kids is downtown with 30 kids breaking in vandalism, a jewelry store, sneaker store, whatever it is, throwing chairs inside the food court, inside the mall, and somebody get hit and hurt. You got assault at 15, 16, 17. Yeah, down the line, it could get taken over your record and, look back like, yeah, I was 17. You know what I mean? I just stole some crap, some legs, some lobster tails and shit. Cam Newton, right? Or was that Jameis Winston? I think that was Jameis Winston. So, we all make mistakes. But parents, you got to be gun-ho about your kids and your shit. The same way you are when you be in these comments arguing with people you don't know. Ray, what's the word? Happy Tuesday. Transformation Tuesday is the theme here. What you working on, how you working, and is it working for you? You got to be gun-ho. Same way you are about rapping them, arguing about some rap shit, some bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and you're not going hard for your kids. Go hard for your kids before they kill somebody or they get killed. And then I got to meet you in the hospital when I go do my job, talk to the parents and the victim of people that's assaulted, stabbed, and shot up. It's not a good thing when you got to go in there. Some of these people and I know. I said, damn. I mean, I know her son. I know such and such. Laid out on the table, doctors is operating on you, trying to save you. Know what I'm saying? But that's that. Let's talk about this shit. Said we was going to talk about some substance, right? Let's talk about this Lil Russell shit. He been spinning in the clip, as I like to say. Rapper, got signed to Rock Nation. It's the Rock in here. Jay and Jay-Z. That shit never gonna get old, Tory Lane's father. And Jay-Z. That nigga said that shit with vigor and passion. And Jay-Z. Yes, I'm carrying it. Anyway, Jay signed him, right? And I guess he was on the podcast. I won't play the clip for time's sake, because I ain't gonna be on it mad long. I think I got like 3 more topics after this, and we getting out of it. I gotta get up early tomorrow to go to work. So let me first say this before I get into the topic of do Lil Wayne got substance and the backlash that he's now receiving on his statements, right? I didn't know who this dude was. We was in a coffee shop having a little break and shit. It was cold outside. We be working outside when we not with the kids, right? And one of my coworkers showed me the small desk or the tiny table with him, right? And he like, yo, I'm telling you, Lee, I know you a hip hop head. This nigga is nice. So I'm like, well, Russell, I never heard no songs from him. Who is he? You know what I mean? And he put on a little small, I think it's the small desk, the tiny desk performance. And I watched like 2 songs, right? And the brother is very, very talented. The brother is nice, in my opinion, right? Definitely, I won't say a breath of fresh air, because we had rappers in his vein around for a long time. You know what I mean? You just got to go find them. We had rappers in this vein for a long time. Photo Artist 6, what's the word? So I won't say he's a breath of fresh air, like it's, Now I said, no idea is original. It's nothing new under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. So we won't say that he's something that I never heard before. Anyway, it was good to hear, him. So that's how I got introduced to him. Didn't know who he was prior to that. Talking about Lil Russell, right? So now, as I'm scrolling online, like a lot of y'all 2-3 days ago, whenever it was and shit, he made the comments like, yo, at one point in time, I had a disdain. If you didn't see the clip, I won't play it, but I'll tell you. He's like, at one point in time, I had a disdain for Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne is my guy. I love Lil Wayne and woo, because I realized a lot of his lyrics, basically a lot of his songs, basically wasn't shit. Not that he's not nice, not that he's not a top lyricist, not that he'll rag and tag a lot of people, whether it's just bar for bar, song for songs. Don't even talk about the verses, like, you know what I'm saying? Only a few, in my opinion, could get on the stage with Lil Wayne and we doing hottest songs we got in verses and freestyles and shit. Anyway, he like, y'all could quote his lyrics, woo, 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 ah, ah, ah. So a lot of people heard that and said, oh, got signed to Rock Nation. People start putting 2 and 2 together, thinking they detectives and shit. Basically, like, oh, he trying to play Lil Wayne. He trying to put a smear campaign on Lil Wayne. And so he came back out again. And I won't play that clip either. Maybe when I chop this video up, I'll put the clips in. So basically, he walking down the hill in LA or the Bay or wherever he from. And he is a Bay native, right? So he like, yo, let me expose 2 things about the industry. One, he mentioned Big Ack. He mentioned Say Cheese. Somebody else, he like, basically I've been seeing myself in the same clip spinning and spinning and spinning. And he like, who he said pay these people? He said somebody give these people money, you know, to talk about me and do a smear campaign, etc. And you know what? Let's play this real quick because I want to get what he said accurately. Let's get what he was walking down the hill. I think I got the video right here. We ain't gotta go far. Yeah.
Dwayne Carter, real niggas fuck with me and I don't give a fuck who don't. And niggas could spin it however, but you know, my message wasn't even out of malice. I love Wayne. Man, I wouldn't be the rapper I am today without. He inspired me to do so much. He inspired me to have bars. But he also inspired me to smoke weed, sip lean, fuck bitches, shoot guns, all those things. And I turned out great. But that's the power of being influential, nigga. I love Wayne, nigga. Fuck y'all. I'm finna blow the whistle on the industry real quick. And the industry is 2 forms of marketing that's used heavily. It's seeding and it's clipping. Whenever you see academics, Say Cheese, rap, bars, etc., all posting the same thing around the same time with the same narrative, that's a seeding campaign. That means someone gave them a budget and some content and a narrative to spread to the world. These 2 things have been monumental and beneficial to artists like myself as well, because whenever I have a viral moment, I'm able to mass distribute the moment to the world. On the flip side of that, most of these places don't have no integrity. So as long as you got the budget, you could get them to post anything and use their platform. Yesterday, probably like 20, 30 platforms across Instagram and Twitter.
That's the basis I wanted to seeding and smear and seeding. And I also wanted to play it again just to see who he said give these people money. Because Say Cheese is a huge platform. Not to say they can't take no more money. I know what we're going to do. If you're a fan of the Purple Tape, which I am, Purple Tape, right? Raekwon and Ghost, 1 for you, 1 for me. 2 for you, that 50 is broke. 2 for you, 1, 2 for me. 3 for you, 1, 2, 3 for me. Like, don't try to play me like I got a flower pot head. Because I clearly heard what the fuck you said. So you said he ain't got no substance, you was a fan and all that. But don't try to spin it like we didn't hear what you said. You clearly said like, yo, but if a motherfucker, every time he see you, he smack the shit out you 1,000 times, and then 2 or 3 or 4 times he give you a hug, like, what the fuck? Like, you a bully, you smacking me around. Those 2 little 3 and 4 times that you give me a hug and, you know, give me some noogies in my head. Noogies for the young people is when they can take their, you know what I mean, their knuckles and dig it in your head. You sunning somebody, right? You playing me. Even though you giving me love 2 or 3 times, the other 1,000 times you smack the shit out of me, you went in my pockets and you turned the rabbit ears. Cool. We heard you say that, bro. We heard you say that. So it's not like we making this stuff up about you. Just stand on what you said. Stand 10 toes down. We ain't say that he didn't teach you how to rap or bars or whatever. And this is the last thing too, right? I get it. Fuck the police. When I came out, when I was coming up, Ice Cube, all the various different songs. When you see Eazy-E and them on the Word Up magazine with the big hammers and all that, right? And, you know, we gang niggas and this and that. As a young mind, of course you could be manipulated and influenced, of course. Especially if you don't have, you know, adults around or somebody that you respect to say, yo, nah, that's just rap. They're not really out there with the Twitches and all that and doing the most of people. They're not out there doing that. That's just a magazine cover. If you got nobody to differentiate and tell you what's real and what's make-believe, then yeah, you could get got. But the the flaw in his statement and his argument, right? Maybe not for him personally, but you from the West Coast, my nigga. West Side, like the West Side is the best side, and we gonna ride on all you niggas. That's what Pac said. The West Side is the best side, right? So you mean to tell me Lil Wayne from Louisiana, New Orleans, down there, right? He influenced you to gangbang, to turn blood, but that's rampant out there. Bloods in the Crips, Crips in the Bloods, the Vatos, Lotos homes, and all that bubblegum shit, right? That's out there. The Pyrus, that's already out there. That's already out there. It's been out there before Lil Wayne was even born. So what are you really saying, Lil Russell? How did he influence you? You would have just stuck to rap and said, nah, he influenced me, you know, with rap and writing bars and all that. Then, all right, cool. Maybe smoking weed, sipping lean, I could give it that. Everybody was on the lean, saying, Joel Santana's teeth fell out. Everybody fucking with Lil Wayne, you on the lean tip, right? Lean to the left, lean to the right. We get it. You a little lean head. That's cool. Maybe he influenced you to use drugs, but the fuck bitches and shoot guns and all that, that's already in your environment. So how are you blaming that on him? How are you blaming that on him? You on the West Side, bro. It ain't like you was in some place that it didn't exist. And then you heard some lyrics and some rhymes and shit. And then it's like, oh shit, Lil Wayne said, you know what I mean? Kill niggas and do shit. So I'm going to do it too. No, when you came out, I'm sure your uncles, your cousins and them, right? And we going to go out here, we going to kill all them niggas, killed your cousin and them. We going to go out and kill all these niggas. I don't give a fuck who out here on some menace to society shit. That's already there, nigga. Little Kid in Big City, Mad City, or whatever it was, right? Ain't that K-Dot first album? Mad Kid, Big City, or Big City and Mad Kid? Your cousins and them is gangbangers. Your father is Vatos Locos. So how the fuck Lil Wayne influenced you to be gang when you from, you know, a geographic location where this is non-stop? You born of blood, basically. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get to the rap part though, right? Because that's just that part. He tried to double down, you know, like I fuck with Lil Wayne and I'm going to win anyway. And, you know, as more information comes out about him, because again, I just told y'all, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I didn't even know who he was. My coworker showed me, for those that's just coming in and jumping back out, and we live on Instagram and we live on YouTube up top. So if you see me looking around, I got different cameras and I'm on different platforms, right? I'm not distracted. He showed me the little death shit. I had no idea who this dude was, but come to find out, he was real big and pro independence. Like, yo, I'm independent, everything independent, and woo, Now Rock Nation signs you, and now, you know, I don't see why everybody hate on Jay-Z, and you see the clips. And another thing, when you go viral, or, you know, people start to discover you, rather, not really going viral, because he is an artist. People get to, you know, dissect you a little bit more. And we spoke about this before I get into the substance part. I just want to add this caveat. My era coming up for rap, as I just brought up NWA on the magazine with the guns and all that, that's all we had. You wait for the Word Up magazine to come out. You wait for the, you know, whatever other magazine, the Vibe, the Source. That's it. You listen to the album. That's it. That's it. Unless they made the news or something. MTV, or they was on, you know, one of those type of shows, URL, or not URL, but, you know, that type of shit. Other than that, you couldn't just open up your phone and see their lifestyle. See who they was in the real life. Are you a trophy in the real life? No, you're a trophy on social media. In the real life, you ain't looking like them pictures look. And lemonade ain't cold enough. We see what you looking like. Online with them filters and shit, you looking good as a motherfucker. When we see you in real life, it's like, you sure is ugly. I'm being funny, but I'm not. But we get to see your everyday lifestyle. We get to see your views on politics. We get to see how you move, and is you a corny lame nigga, or you know, you somebody we rock with. And people gonna pick and choose. Don't make no mistake about it. You know what I mean? We all gonna pick and choose who we rock with. You know what I mean? Unless you gonna be authentic and call a spade, and it just is what it is. So now that we get to see him, you see a lot of the comments like, yo, this nigga's corny, this nigga's lame, or now he turned into a cornball. So he's starting to get a lot of little hate. I don't know if that's spilling over from Jay-Z or not, but basically a lot of people like, he ain't really who I kind of like thought he was, because Your music is one thing, but now when you open up your mouth and we get to dissect you, see, how you think, how your brain move, and how you communicate and how you present yourself to the world. Now we get to get a little more data on you. It's like, I fuck with Shorty or I don't fuck with Shorty. She alright or she not, or homie cool or he not. Like when you start bunny hopping or you start doing suspect shit wearing dresses or you start doing real suspect goofy style moves, now it's hard for us to unremember that. Gorilla, right? Telling a nigga, what you getting paid to remember? Yeah, we getting, it's not that we getting paid to remember, Gorilla. But you can't be mad at one of your fans and say, damn, 2 years ago she didn't look like that. She did something to her face. She did something to her forehead. She did something to her mouth. We can clearly see. Your cheekbones don't look like we can see. So don't get mad at us because our memory is still good and we remember how you look yesteryear. Don't get mad at the fans and people online. You putting your business out there for people to consume. This is what it is. And this is America. Don't get you slipping. Police be tripping. Like we're gonna judge. We're gonna have opinions. So let's get back to the substance part now. And then we'll get off this. Lil Wayne is not a substance rapper. That's number one. So he wasn't lying, in my opinion. Now, he got some songs, and I took the liberty of, I'm not going to play them, but I took the liberty of writing them down. And this is just to name a few. Feel Me, George Bush, Something You Forgot, La La La, Let's Talk It Over, Hustlers Music, Everything, Miss My Dogs. And it's more, right? The joint with him and Eminem, What Is Love? What's my joint that Kanye West did the beat for? Let the Beat Build. And I just point those out, just a few that's like really substance-based songs where he's talking about something, and maybe this is the time when Russell was like, yeah, I give you a hug every now and then, but basically it's like, fuck bitches, drink lean, I'm a monster, I'm an alien. He's not wrong in that, but that's never was Lil Wayne's style. He's not a J. Cole type of rapper. He's not a Nas. He's not a Common Sense. He's not no rapper like that. So you're not going to go to get those type of bars. You know what I mean? Like even Hov, same thing. Or Rick Ross, like DMX said. How many times you going to rap about your Bentley and selling keys and, fucking bitches? There's only been so much you could do that. Now you could keep doing it in fly different ways that'll keep us tuned in. If that's your, if that's your go-to type of music, then you're gonna rock with it. You can make 10 albums like that. If you got the wordplay, the melodies, and the hooks to back it up, the nigga gonna fuck with it. Because that's what you might be, rocking with at the time. But basically that's why DMX said that, right? About Rick Ross. But the same thing could be said about Hov. But see, you're like, nah, he got, what's the song about his brother? You Must Love Me, Meet the Parents. I just talked about that. With the father killing his son. A few other joints, and as one of his best albums for that, talking about Hov now, was on the 444 album. After allegedly Beyonce came out with the Lemonade, and the album was about him cheating and all that, and all that type of fiasco. Then he addressed some of those things, and it was more like a heartfelt. Plus, you come in the game at 27 and you 40 now, you 42, you 45. What you gonna rap about? Even on one of those songs, where he like, you got the all white cocaine. Is the Family Feuds? We talking about Steve Harvey and all that, but it's a line on there where he like crack cocaine, and he like, nah, we did that. We on to something. We eating off these streams of champagne, and we merrily some shit about the streams of income off of the champagne. It's basically you sold crack your whole career. So when you turn 40, 45, you still can't be rap. I mean, you can, but you're going to rap till you 50, until you 60, about how you was selling drugs in Marcy Projects. So Hov had the joints, but a lot of his raps wasn't substance. It may have had substance within the bars, certain little lines about the drug games, the downside of it. Same thing with Lil Wayne. Ultimately, his rhymes, especially the radio joints, A Million and all that, Mrs. Officer, and the list goes on, 6'7" and all. That's just lyrics and bars, wordplay, showing you I'm nice, I can ride the beat. You know what I'm saying? Hip Hop is Dead, that song on the Carter 3, where he brought hip hop back to life. Just showing you that I'm nice on the microphone. But he ain't no KRS-One. He's not that. He's not KRS-One. He's not Common Sense. He's not that. So we're not looking for him to have those type of bars and those type of songs. You got to go to Nas for that. Nas, you know, he been rapping on that vein. Tupac been rapping on that vein. DMX been had songs like that. Impactful songs. So you could say, yeah, like you put on Pop, you know you're going to get certain type of song. It ain't going to just be a West Side and bomb and kill everybody. You're going to get a White Man's World. You're going to get a Dear Mama. You know what I mean? You're going to get these type of songs. Time goes by, puffing on live, hoping that it gets me high. You know what I mean? You're going to get, you're going to get, Heaven's Mansion or Thug's Mansion. You're going to get songs like that. Nas, you're going to get Revolutionary Warfare, Zorfare, Love and War, Gotta Take You Off Here. You're going to get, Can We Please Have a Moment of Silence? Are you going to get these quality type of songs? Can I talk to the mayor, to the governor, to the motherfucking president? Can I talk to the FBI and the CIA and the motherfucking congressman? Those are the songs you're going to get because that's the type of artist that they are. Scarface, you're going to get impactful type of songs. Ice Cube, you're not going to just get some West Side, West Coast shit. You're going to get good songs. And Lil Wayne never was in that vein, so I don't really see why the people is kind of like outraged because just like I named 4, 5, 6, I could have probably named a few more. That's what you're going to get, guys. Lyrical ability, lyricism, storytelling, swag and metaphors and similes. And Lil Wayne is a beast. Definitely top 10 if you don't want to, I know he get a lot of shade because this era is a little new. You know what I mean? Y'all new niggas, y'all some new niggas. But Lil Wayne is top tier MC. Top tier MC. Top tier MC. And speaking on Lil Wayne, let's segue to this next topic and then I got one more after this and we out of here. Been on the show for a little 51 minutes. 2 more topics. T.I. going hard, him and 50 Cent been going at it online and shit. They, back and forth, so I'm sure you've seen them spinning in the clip. But now what's spinning in the clip is T.I. and Wayne, if they was to do a versus, right? So that's why I said we'll just segue into that. My show Hip Hop Entertainment Interviews sometime. Popavisms 101 in the course Motivation. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, Popavis TV, right? A lot of people's kind of like, again, the slander, Lil Wayne. T.I. is a top tier lyricist too. They on a few songs together where they both going head to head, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, it'll be close, and close meaning if you do 20 songs, obviously. To me, it'll probably be 15. I'll give Lil Wayne 15 or 13 to like 7. You know what I mean? 15, 5. It ain't going to be like 20 and 20 or, 19 to 17. T.I. got a lot of songs and I rock with T.I. Some songs that I like of his, people probably don't even rock with. Sorry is one of them, with Andre 3000. Porn Stars, one of them. You know what I mean? He got a lot of songs. Now, people are naming why you want to go and do that. And, a Stacks on deck, Patron on, you can have whatever you like. And, 24s and, all the, the hits that he got. And he got a lot of hits. Bring them out, bring them out. It's hard to yell, you know what I mean? But Lil Wayne got so many hits, mixtape hits, album hits. Just freestyles, just crazy. Lyrically, slight edge to Lil Wayne, but only slightly on that. T.I. is definitely super nice lyrically. He to me, he's actually underrated when it comes to bars and lyricism. Just pure lyricism and spitting. Plus he's articulate, his vocabulary is on another level. So he's able to incorporate that. And certain rappers, all they could do is curse this, bitch that. They can't even rap like him. You know what I'm saying? So give him his props in that. But as far as verse, who got more hits? I'm gonna give it to Lil Wayne. And again, I think it's they both gonna bring their best 20. But I think out of the 20, it'd be 15. Lil Wayne going to just, go in and T.I. 10, 11, 12, 13. After that, onslaught. You know what I'm saying? Too many hits for Lil Wayne. Too many. And then we talking about, like I said, What Is Love, and just the other songs that he featured on. What's the little nigga from Atlanta name? The Lloyd songs, the Young Lloyd, like the Caterway, he got, right off the back here, the boy got knowledge, so come sweep with me, flight knowledge. It ain't no secret, I might holler, catch up like the joint that he got with T.I. I could put you in a loft in the cabin, somewhere in Aspirin, like, I mean, it ain't nothing to the pain, and that ain't even his verse, but obviously he's on that song, and he on a slew of just like features. So just that alone, like, come on the track, you know what I mean? I know T.I. got the Robin Thicke joint, hey, 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 and he got the I'm a Flirt with T-Pain and R. Kelly. It'd be a great verses, but ultimately, I think Lil Wayne to edge him out, even if it's by 4 or 5 hits, I still think he'll win. That's just my opinion. What else we got before we get out of here? Lastly, let's talk about this Kendra G shit. Let's talk about this Kendra G shit. Here you go, right here.
I've talked to at least 15,000 single people now, so now I learned a thing or two. Most women want a man of you guys' caliber. You guys, I'm gonna give you your kudos. You're successful men, you're attractive men, well-spoken men, black men. Do well, you do for the community. They all want you. Now, it doesn't matter if he's rich or poor, fine or not that attractive. They all want you. Now, we know the truth of the matter is you guys represent, really when it comes down to it, not the larger portion of the masses. You guys literally might be 10%, might even be less than that. You might be like the 5%ers, the 1%ers, but it doesn't matter because 100% of the women all want you. So what happens is, what I've learned is social media has given people insights to other people's lives. So every girl wants a man that makes bare minimum 100K, has to be attractive, faithful, prefers no kids. If she has kids, love her kids like they are your kids. Treat her kids like you created her kids. Show up for her when she needs you to show up for her. Go to church for her every day. Don't ever speak to another woman. Always be available, but work so much that you can fulfill my lifestyle.
Wow. They laughing.
Listen, my next invention is the AI guy. I'm gonna make the 6'6" AI human-like man because it's literally the only man that represents this. And I think that what I've come to learn is women get really because they use settling. I hate the word settling because if you say, oh, you're saying I'm not good enough for a man that makes 100K, and their argument will be, well, I make that or more. So it only makes sense for me to require a man that makes what I want or more. Logically speaking, I get that. I don't have a disagreement there. But the part that they're missing, which matters the most, is that man doesn't date the same. A lot of times the wealthy man or the man that has the money, he doesn't want a broke girl, but he has enough. He goes into it knowing he's paid for everything, right? So even though you have a certain lifestyle, this man in his mind, I still got to pay for everything. So your money doesn't matter that much as you think it does. I've talked to 15,000.
All right, so I'll let the whole clip play because it's a lot to unpack, and I won't drag this particular topic because I said I want to get out of here within an hour, maybe an hour and 5 minutes, and we're coming up on 58 minutes right now. But where does this sound like this comes from? Let me see. I'm a PhD. Smack sound. I'm a PhD. And roof, by dog. Oh, shit. That sound like Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace to the godfather of YouTube, right? And, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, the late, great Kevin Samuels, right? Whether you agree or you disagree with his delivery, how he spoke to certain women, I'm not going to lie, as an avid watcher of the show, pandemic time, and even after, we came up out of this, and he ended up, up to his untimely death, right? Or when the Most High called him back. sometimes that shit would burn my ears a little bit, so I get it, right? But ultimately, the message still was the same. Every single thing that she just said, he said. Except it's just coming out of her mouth now. She actually was on his show. Go Google Kevin Samuels and Kendra G when he was schooling her, smacking her around. And she didn't want to hear what he was saying, but 5 minutes later, shit come out to be true. And she dealing with some young African scammer. No man, no marriage, freezing your eggs in your late 40s. Got all the money in the world. She rich, and I'm not happy that she, that she ain't got no kids at all. I'm definitely not rooting on her downfall or wishing that she stay unhappy. I mean, get it how you get it, Kendra G. You know what I mean? I know a few niggas that'll take you down if you let them, right? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the expectations been out of control for the average basic. Most of us is 5, 6 anyway. We just ordinary people. Like, you're just ordinary. When you get the lashes, the weave in the hair, the BBL, you put on the best shoes, the best dresses and all that. Yeah, you're going to dress it up, make it look nice. Like, dress it up for me, make it real for me. You know what I mean? Like, dress it up and make it real for me on some future shit. Like, you could dress it up and make it real for me. I appreciate that. But when you take it all off and you undress for me, you just regular. And I'm regular. Even though I am type handsome, I ain't gonna front. You know what I mean? But basically, you regular. And it's nothing wrong with in your own mind have confidence, etc. But you heard what she said. All the women want 1%, 5%, 10% in a minute. You're not gonna get them. Even though you make 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, you get that same man and they don't want the same thing that you want. So somebody has to settle. And then the thing is, average people will be with average people. It's nothing that you luck up and you get a Russell Wilson and you from the projects, or you get somebody that's up. You get a Michael B. Jordan, or whoever you think is handsome or is that guy, right? Cool, you get them. But everybody's not going to get them. So when you discount or, push all of the other regular guys, hard-working guys, I might add, right? Blue-collar men, which they make good money. Regular degular guys in your eyes, that's regular degular. They ain't 6 feet tall, they're not athletes. That leaves you with slim pickings. It leaves you with slim pickings. And she laughing. Because she making money off y'all. Just like Kevin was, you call him to a show. Thing is, people be like, yo, he disrespecting y'all. Y'all calling up to a show. You ain't got to call up. And you didn't have to call up. They called up because they wanted to, get some clout, some of them, back 2-3 times, change the hair, even though his memory was good. He'd be like, you was on the show before, right? And they'd be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? The Summer Walkers done got up there. I've seen a few people. Even got to Nicki Minaj wanted to be on the show. Say, do what you do to the other girls. And you're like, rate yourself, fresh out the shower, no makeup out the show. Can use 7. 7, duh, you dingbat. No, you wanted to say you dingbat, but instead he said, he smiled like, can't use 7. And she said, He's like, I'm going to give you a 10. And a lot of people that was familiar with his content up until that point, where he kind of fake crossed over, he was being nice. He was capitalizing off his viral moment, of mainstream, you know what I mean? And he did the T.I. show, he did the Joe Buttons, he did the Tasha K, he was making his rounds. And some still believe they knocked him off because of the message he was pushing. Fall in line, ladies. Men, grab your nuts. Be men, lead from the front, no excuses. Work hard, work some more. Build yourself up so that you can, be in a position that you're supposed to be in. That's basically was his message. Basically. And stop having kids out of wedlock, giving the highest thing that you could give to a man, which is a baby, putting your life on the line. Dun, 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 dun. Like you putting your life on the line, yet you don't demand no ring. Yet you giving them 3 and 4 kids, and you giving multiple niggas kids. So you just giving the box to everybody, no value on it. And that's basically what's his message. Sometimes it was harder than others, and he also got at the men. That's why I said that. Well, how you look? You in shape? You eating right? And he was a black belt or whatever, so I'm sure you could fuck something up. Like, are you in shape? Is your mind right? Like, what type of school you got? You work with your hands. Why should you get what you saying you deserve? What, men, you got to work for it. Ain't nobody giving you nothing. have realistic expectations. So to hear her after the, I don't know how long Kevin passed now, but people been calling her out on her whole format, basically, what kind of man you looking for, how much money you gotta make, and the shit is a buffoonery show, and basically she getting top dollar off it. She living her best life off of it, off of the delusional expectations of the women that come on her show, expecting those type of 1% men and shit that she is talking about. All right, guys, this is the last thing real quick. I got to make a public service announcement. Let me look at my camera. With not on YouTube. I'm gonna look at all the cameras, but this is specifically for my camera because it's got all the words and it's going to save a funny type of way. All right, so Ramadan starts tomorrow, God willing, right? Some say it might start Thursday night, till Thursday, or tomorrow night, but some is like tomorrow morning. Last few years it's been little discrepancy. Some people, some masjids or people, and it's supposed to be the sighting on the moon. Some of the scholars and the people in authority over here, they wait till they see the sighting over here. Some wait till they see it in Arabia, obviously, over there in the east. They're going to see it at a different time from us. But anyway, basically, I'm going to start my fast tomorrow. Kind of already started my fast, but not, for like the Ramadan fast. Monday, I had my last little meal, went to Ricardo's. It wasn't all that for some reason, maybe because I ain't been there in a while. I always get the lamb chops. And I said, Monday, Tuesday, not going to eat no food, no none of that. Not going to eat anything, and I haven't. Yesterday, I was a little hungry. Today was much better. Energy is up, feeling great, feeling good. And I was like, I'm just going to push that in to Ramadan because tomorrow morning I can't drink water, can't eat. I was drinking water and took some ginger shots today, had some coffee. That was the only thing that I had, and I did put a little cream in it. But other than that, no food at all, right? And I was like, if I could get Monday and Tuesday, and that'd be a good 48 hours of no eating, then Wednesday I have to fast. But why am I bringing this up? Bringing this up because for people that don't know, Ramadan, like it goes back or forward depending on how you word it or view it. For instance, if Ramadan was on February 10th last year, meaning the day that it started, then it'll start on February 1st or January 31st. Then the following year will start on January 20th, and then the 10th keeps going up, right? Or some will say back, as I said, depending on how you look at it. I'm bringing that up because I got a few birthdays coming up, some family members around Ramadan time. That's why I said this is a public service announcement. I'm not curving you. I'm not just not that I don't want to hang out, party, and bullshit and all that. It's just that the times that Ramadan has been happening in the last few years, I've been missing certain people's birthdays, and I've been getting invited out. People want to go out the country. They want to do certain things. They want to hang with Popovich. They know we're going to make the party live. They know I'm a live, energetic type of person, and we bring the good energy. So they want to fuck with me, right? And I get it. But I won't be doing none of that, just like I wasn't doing it last year, the year before. I ain't gonna still hit you up and wish you well wishes, happy birthday, woo woo woo. But I don't hang out, do around. I don't do all those different type of things. I'm strictly locked in, trying to become the best version of myself. Ramadan is one of the key things up until this point in my life that has helped me every year with discipline, with self-restraint. Obviously, you could fall back and backslide in some areas, but people always ask, well, why you like this? How you like this? And I said, I've been fasting since I was 16. You know what I'm saying? Also good for the body, help, in between the smoking when I used to, drinking or whatever you do, especially if you, go hard in the paint. You go out a lot. Speaking of going out, you eating these bullshit foods all the time. You like McDonald's, it's Eddie Murphy shit. You can't afford it. And you're always eating fast food and you're not cooking home. You're not taking certain stuff from the juice bar. You don't work out or you do a little bit. Even for those that's not Muslim, because a lot of people fast now during the month of Ramadan. If you do, you can see some benefits from it. So I encourage you, even if you don't do all the other stuff. But it's not just food and not drinking. That's the easy part now, especially when you've been fasting for as long as me. Living in America and living where we live, that's the hardest part. Staying offline, because as soon as you open up, it's Cardi B shaking her BBL and then talking about she gonna get rid of it, right? Take some ass cheeks out. It's the music rolling by and niggas just shoot shit up, and the certain things you see, the conversations and people that you're around, that's what you have to fast from. Because as soon as when you walk out your house, you're being assaulted. You don't realize this, that you're being assaulted every day, spiritually, mentally, but you be with it because you're not focused on not doing these things no more, pulling back, learning self-restraint. So every day you just in it too. You know what I mean? You in it every day until when Ramadan come or whenever you decide to say, you know what, this week no more meat, no more this, no more music, get off social media for a week, focus on my test. I got my test coming. Then you get the phone call, yo, you going out? Yo, you seen the battle? Yo, you seen this shit on Instagram? Yo, you be like, damn, what do we really be talking about? What do we be spending our time on, and how we are progressing, you know, as individuals, collectively, as a community, as a whole, society, the country, etc. You be like, damn, a lot of people really be focusing on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that is the determining factor between doing more, becoming the best version of yourself, or just falling by the wayside. Because most of us, going back to Kevin Samuels and Kendra G admitting, most of us is just basic and average. That's the fact. From your looks to what you want in life to how you operate, you're just basic. You're just average or mediocre, some might say. You say, no, I ain't no mediocre, nigga. I'm big homie. I'm all, whatever your status is. And I'm only saying that, not all of us, but I'm only saying that, like I teach my small boys, my little cousins and nieces and shit. Showing up is half the battle. Most people won't even show up, but the ones that do, you jump ahead a little bit. Now the ones that's there, like I was telling one of my co, I'm like, yo, pick up the other chair. Not my coworker, one of our participants. She's like, I ain't getting paid more. I'm like, yeah, you ain't getting paid more, but I'm like, you could if you show that you're willing to go the extra, because somebody will take notice that these people are just lollygagging, and Teresa or this person, they do a little more. When I look at their updates, I see a little more detail. We're going to give them the raise. They're going to get the bonus. And then when you don't get it, you sit back and say, damn, I didn't get it, because you got what you put out. You got exactly what you put out. You put out more, you require more of yourself, then you'll get it. So that's what I'll end Transformation Tuesdays with. What you working on, how you working, and is it working for you? I will not be attending no parties. I will not be popping no bottles or doing stuff outside of Ramadan. Don't ask. And that's the reason why. That's why I made this public service announcement. But y'all know who it is. This your guy, Popovus. Y'all was just tuned in. My show, Popovus TV. Of course, we are live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up and here. One more again. Be safe out there, guys.